gentlemen, it's me, Mr. Anger, back with you for another episode of the Mr. Anger Show. Parental advisory, blah, 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 warning, not for the easily offended. Yeah, let's get this show on the road. Now, I've been gone for a while, and so I haven't been able to touch on some issues that have happened here lately. So I'm going to touch on those issues now and get my thoughts about them. If you don't know why I've been gone, I've done a previous couple of videos explaining that. Go check them out. Well, something's been bothering me here lately. We as United States citizens are losing our rights. And it's starting. And it's become apparently clear that people are starting to choose people's perceptions over other people's perceptions, and that's just wrong in this country, especially in a land of the free where you're able to believe and feel how you want to. I mean, those are rights of ours. You know, you can feel about things and believe in things as you want to. That's what makes this nation so great. And here of late, we've been defining or choosing people's perceptions over others, and that's a scary concept. And yes, it has to deal with the Confederate statues. It's an inanimate object, and inanimate objects cannot define themselves. The only definition that an inanimate object has is the meaning that we give it. And I know some people will sit there and say, well, to me it means this and that and the other, or it means, it stood for slavery. But you sit there and you salute the American flag, you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and that flag has flown longer for slavery and for segregation and for it stood for some of the most horrendous things throughout world history. I mean, it flew loud and proud as we put people in internment camps. It flew loud and proud as, we dropped nuclear bombs on other people. I mean, everything's perception based. I mean, you can look at the American flag and it's an inanimate object and think of all those things. But then again, you got to think of, most of us look at it and think of the good that came from it. And stand to represent the symbol that it is for us. I mean, you can see some terrible stuff in anything. I mean, perception is key to the people anymore. And, when it comes to the Confederate statues, I mean, like it or dislike it, it's a part of history. And without that part of history, who knows what we would be today if that war never took place. And, you got to thank the Confederates for states' rights. So if you're sitting in Colorado smoking a doobie, thanks to states' rights and what they fought for, you're allowed to do so. And if you're sitting there condemning it, then you're a hypocrite, because you're condemning what gave you the right to sit there and you have your state be able to legalize marijuana. So even though the Confederates fought for some bad things, they also fought for some good things. I mean, both sides had their victories. The North, they had, they fought against slavery. That was a good thing. So you got the North to thank for that, but you got the South for having states keep individual rights so that states can do as they please. So both had their good and bad sides. I mean, the North was the aggressor. The South wasn't the aggressor. So there's blame. And, it's just on how you see things. I look at any statue. Yeah, they fought for slavery. But then again, at the same time, without either side, who knows what we would be today. Without that war, what would this country be like? That's the thing. You can't erase history. You can't get rid of history, and we're choosing people's perceptions over others, and that's stomping on somebody's rights to look and believe it, to believe in that statue a certain way. Well, yeah, they did some bad stuff, but I look at it as it's history, and I'm telling you my perceptions of it, and that's the way I see things. If you don't like it, ignore it, walk past. Why go to it? And, what happened in Charlotte, Virginia, I mean, that was That was all sides. That was on every side. Every side fighting over their perceptions when we're in the land of the free where everybody has the right to have those perceptions and to feel and believe as they do. And by choosing people's perceptions over other people's perceptions, we're squandering, we're stepping on other people's rights. It has to begin somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where it's starting. It's unfortunate that people can't put on their big boy panties or whatever. Big boy underoos or big girl panties or whatever sexual preference you decide to identify with. I mean, and just let bygones be bygones and realize that in this country people have the right to believe as they believe. But everybody thinks that their perception is more important than the next person's perception. And what gets me the most is I hate it when people say, or at these protests going, we want tolerance, condemning somebody else for the way they think. Well, they're negating their own definition of tolerance, because true tolerance means including what you dislike and what you hate, as well as what you like. I'm Mr. Anger. Have a good day.